Ting, 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 Latina news.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Latina News. I'm Danny Zavaleta. On my right is Elizabeth Zelaya, and on my left is Catherine Ortez. Today, we will be talking about some activities that went on in this year's Smart Smell 8th grade school year. After that, we will be talking about the wonderful new law that was passed in 2015 and some devastating natural disasters. Now, introducing Elizabeth Zelaya with the 8th grade dance.
Thank you, Daniela. The annual 8th grade dance at Marshmallow took place on May 6 in the cafeteria. Although some people didn't attend because they thought it would be lame and boring, other parents didn't allow them to go. They missed the best night of the 8th grade experience. The lights were out and the music got louder each minute. Everyone pretty much danced out away. Everyone forgot about the standards and started to make new friends, and they got along pretty well. I was one of those persons. There were a lot of desserts that pretty much everyone forgot about because no one would stop dancing. The photo booth was the best part of the night. It was a way to remember the dance. There were silly accessories that we can put on so we can take silly nonsense pictures with our friends. It was an unforgettable night.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now, introducing Catherine Ortez with the jam activity.
Jam. Well, it's a club where you learn teamwork and learn to interact with others. And how to enter jam? Well, you have to be sponsored by a teacher. So in order for you to go in jam and go on field trips. One field trip we went to was Cloudmore. We played basketball, we went rock climbing, and we went swimming in the pool. After all that fun at Cloudmore, we went to a Chinese buffet called King Buffet. So that was just half of the fun that we had. So, thank you all for listening.
Thank you, Catherine. Now, for my segment today, I am talking about the Smart Smell 8th grade Hershey Park field trip. The Smart Smell 8th grade music department went to a competition, you could say, in Pennsylvania, and they competed with a lot of different schools' music departments as well. Everyone has been waiting for this day for 2 to 3 years and have committed their time and their effort for this one chance to compete. As a reward for their time and effort, they were able to spend some time in Hershey Park. After everyone competed, of course. Their day started off in the cafeteria at Smart's Mill at 5:30 in the morning. The students got to meet their chaperones and the music teachers explained what their schedule was going to be for the day. And at 6 o'clock, they started loading the buses and off they went. When everyone arrived to their designated area, they waited until it was their time to perform. After every group performed, they met up at Hershey Lodge and they headed for Hershey Park. As soon as they got there, there were about 20 different schools there, and they all looked for their chaperone, and finally everyone was able to enter the park. After about 6 hours in the park, everyone went to this award ceremony to find out in what level they placed. When the award ceremony finished around 6:30, everyone was able to go and enjoy the park for about 3 more hours. None of this would have been a success if it weren't for the music teachers and for the chaperones that volunteered. The music department was on the lookout during the whole trip. They were attentive of the students the whole time and they made sure that everyone was safe and no one got lost. At least not for a long time. Anyways, the chaperones made it a success by dealing with all the students and being able to handle them during the whole time that we were at park. Hershey Park was a success because of them. Now, here's an interview with Mr. Hallisey, a 6th grade Smart Smell teacher.
Who has been the biggest influence in your life this year and why?
The biggest influence in my life this year, I would probably have to say my wife. Probably have to say my wife.
Why?
Well, I had some health issues this year. I was out the first quarter. I had suffered a pretty severe head concussion. So saw some doctors. My wife was instrumental in my recovery. So she's a good woman.
That's good.
Sure. Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, the second question is, how would people remember you this year?
Probably as a grumpy old man. Probably just like they did last year. No, I don't know. I hope that they'll remember that the classroom is fun, that we try to joke around, but at the same time too, I like to keep it balanced and we learn, of course, and I try to mix it up and joke around with the kids because, I want them to come back. I mean, I know they have to, but still.
Okay, so third question. What is your favorite memory from this year?
My favorite memory for this year? What? Why do you keep pointing to yourself like that? My favorite memory from this year? I don't know that I have a favorite memory that I can think of off the top of my head. We have a field trip coming up next week, so we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a memory. I'm just hoping it's a good one.
So, question number 4. How can you give one piece of advice for the upcoming 8th graders?
Well, first of all, I loved high school. It was an amazing time. High school, they kind of treat you like young men and young women. You have a great rapport with your teachers. It's a lot like middle school too. There's going to be some classes that you like and some that you don't, but you just have more freedom and more latitude, and they just treat you like the young adults that you guys now are.
Question number 5. Were you a rebel in 8th grade, and if you were, what did you do?
A rebel. So because I'm on camera, and because
Were you a rebel in 8th grade, and if you were, then what did you do?
I was not a rebel. I was in the library. I studied for every quiz, for every test. If there were like erasers that need to be clapped out and cleaned, just kidding. You don't even know what those things are. But in any event, yeah, I was a pretty good kid actually. I mean, I wasn't like a super nerd, but I wasn't. I was middle of the road. I was a good kid. Still am.
Okay, so when did you decide to become a teacher?
It was in graduate school. I'd gone to law school for a little while, and I decided that it wasn't really for me, but I thought how cool it would be to maybe teach someday. So then I went to graduate school, and I taught in a school and grew really to like it, and I decided it was for me, and that was 100 years ago.
Okay, that's good. Thank you for just participating in analysis.
Well, it was my pleasure, girls. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Now, for the wonderful law that was passed last year that went all the way to the Supreme Court. It's June 26, 2015, with the mixtures of confusion, happy tears, excitement, and many, many marriage proposals are happening this very moment. Thanks to the groups of the same-sex couples that sued their state agencies, Michigan, Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee, to challenge the constitutional rights of those states that ban same-sex marriage. The plaintiff of the case argued that their rights were being violated on April 28, 2015. They said that it was violating their equal rights and the due process of the 14th Amendment. The law was finally passed with a 5-4 vote by Justice Anthony Kennedy, who gave the majority opinion, and the 4 other liberal justices. Now, not everything is rainbows and unicorns and smiling faces. Today we will be talking about some tornado warnings that happen in the U.S.
Tornado warnings in central U.S. Tornado warnings are in the parts of Colorado, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Iowa, and Missouri. There has been a tornado in Brazos Country, Texas at 12:30 p.m. No one was hurt, but just buildings were damaged, like for example, the roofs and trees fell. A dam was damaged, but everyone's okay. Trips were canceled. David Esrons tweeted, security line at MCL gates 3760 after tornado warning evacuation. Hashtag CNN at report. He tweeted that at 6:01 p.m. in the 26th of March 2016. David was traveling back to head home back but there was a warning of a tornado, so all trips were canceled, and storms nowadays have been happening a lot this year. We need to be more aware of our surroundings. Thank you all for listening.
There are a lot of situations that are going on around the world, but one situation seemed to caught our eye.
Thank you, Danny. A few days ago, I traveled to Ecuador and things weren't looking good. Buildings had gone down, cars had been trapped, and roads had been divided in half due to the massive earthquake of a 7.8 magnitude that took 654 lives, injured more than 4,000 people, and left 30,000 people homeless. As soon as other people from different parts of the country and outside the country heard about this disaster, they brought whatever was to their ability to help the victims. Many volunteers came and distributed 464,000 foods of kits. UNICEF coordinator Cecilia Davila Molina in Latin America was touched by the disaster and the non-trained volunteers that she decided to put on a volunteer camp to provide for them. President Rafael Correa appealed to the people in Ecuador to stay calm and onward, as another disaster like this is waiting to happen within the next 2 months. As for that, classes nationwide in Ecuador has been cancelled until notice. So please do anything to help and support the victims from this terrible disaster so they can start getting up on their own feet. Mr. Morphin, living in the USA, has response to this right now. I know that a 7.8 magnitude earthquake is huge, and I'm not really surprised that affected that many people. I'm impressed how many people came together by this earthquake, Mr. Muffin said. Thank you for watching. In 1964, Hillary was a Republican, but later became a Democrat in 1968 after the inspiring speech of Martin Luther King Jr. She will end family detention and close private immigrant detention centers. She will also expand access to affordable healthcare to all families living in the USA. Vote for Hillary!
Thank you for watching the Latina News. Stay in touch with us for more news at 7. Have a good day.